Welcome to Session 6. The first thing we're going to learn in Session 6 is a new C major scale pattern. Now you know we already have C major scale patterns number 1, 2, 3 and 4, and you should be very familiar with doing them and be able to do them at ease now. Without even having to look at your book, you should have them memorized and they should be part of your practice repertoire nice and solidly. So let's learn the new one though. C major scale pattern number 5 now. Just another scale to add to our repertoire, and it's a very good one, this one as well. It's in the 9th position, so we have to put our first finger onto the 9th fret, second finger onto the 10th, third finger onto the 11th fret and the fourth finger onto the 12th fret. Then from there we look for our lowest root note, which is the C note. It's on the 6th string and it's on the 8th fret. So we're going to have to pull our first finger out of position there, moving it back to the 8th fret to play that note. Just like when we were in pattern 2 and we had to move our first finger back to the F note there to play that F note, and down here as well. We're going to do the same thing here, except it's not such a stretch anymore because the frets are a lot narrower together. So we move our first finger back and play the C note there. We then have a whole step up to the D note, which our second finger is going to do on the 10th fret of the 6th string. We then have the E note on the 6th string, which is the 12th fret, which our fourth finger is going to do. We then have the F note, which our first finger is going to have to pull itself out of position again to do on the 8th fret. We then have the G note, which the second finger is going to do on the 5th string. We then have the A note, which the little finger is going to do, 12th fret, 5th string. We then have the B note, which the first finger is going to do on the 9th fret of the 4th string. We then have the C note that our second finger is going to do on the 10th fret of the 4th string. We then have the D note, which the fourth finger is going to do on the 12th fret of the 4th string. Then the E note on the 9th fret of the 3rd string, which the first finger will do. We then have the F note, which the second finger is going to do on the 10th fret of the 3rd string. We then have the G note that the fourth finger is going to play on the 12th fret of the 3rd string. And we've gone that far. Now from here what we have to do is we have to shift position, which makes the scale unique. All the others we stayed exactly in position without moving our hand. This time, however, we're going to have to move our hand and shift position. So what we're going to do is move up to the 10th position. So what we do is we bring our fingers up to the 10th position. We were in the 9th, we're going to come up to the 10th. And the first finger will play the note, the A note, on the 10th fret of the 2nd string there. The third finger will play the B note on the 12th fret of the 2nd string. The fourth finger will play the 13th fret, which is the C note of the 2nd string. The first finger will play the D note on the 10th fret of the 1st string. The third finger will play the E note, which is the 12th fret of the 1st string. And the fourth finger will play the F note on the 13th fret. Now for those of you that own classical guitars or folk guitars, you'll notice that the guitar chops off at the 12th fret there. You can still, however, do the scale. It's a bit of a squeeze, but it still can be done, and it has to be done. So don't despair if you think it's going to be too much of a squeeze to get in there. It can be done. All my students do it, and I'm sure you can do it as well. So if we ascend up the scale, shifting position from here, when we hit the 2nd string, we shift position to the 10th position. And descending very nice and slowly. So let's go through it very slowly. I'll play it twice through. Once real slow so you guys can keep up with it, and then again after you get better at it you can come back and play it at more of a proper pace there. Starting from the lowest root note, ascending to the highest note of the scale, descending to the lowest note of the scale, and then returning to the root note, which is the lowest note of the scale. Now at more of a regular sort of a pace. So the things to watch with a scale, of course, is the right hand is doing constant alternate strokes there, down, up, down, up, down, up, all the time there, that you get it nice and even as well. So we don't have on the easy part, and then the hard part, and then the easy part again. All nice and smooth at the same speed there. And that's C major scale pattern 5. So we've got pattern 1 in the open position, pattern 2 in the 2nd position, pattern 3 in the 5th position, pattern 4 in the 7th position, and pattern 5 in the 9th position. one octave on each there, but of course you'll be going 2 octaves and beyond, all the way up and all the way down there. So that's 5 major scale patterns. Excellent work, and they will excellently get the left hand really into action as well as the right into coordination as well.